Hogan hits it to third, and the throw across the diamond is a strike, and the Ducks are retired here in the bottom of the second. Did you see the overflow crowd here at PK Park today down the line? Hot dogs, beverages, you name it. It's a great place. It's kind of like a little bit of a sports bar, if you will. People go down there to have a good time and hang out and have a cold beverage.
A lot of adult beverages will be served down there over the years, and it's a place that people can congregate and talk baseball and talk about anything else they want to visit with down there.
Of course, that's where all my buddies are. You know, wherever the cold beer is, that's where they are. Just, you know, the day has changed for both of these universities and the expectation levels of all the programs, and the idea that winning national championships in this state is not out of the question. And not only is it not out of the question, it's common.
It's happening.
It's happening.
It's happening.
It's going to happen more. And it can happen for both of these schools in football and certainly in baseball, as the Beavers have proved, in track and field, as Oregon has proven. And you never know what other sport's going to maybe make a little breakthrough too, Rob.
Well, you know, it's exciting to be a resident of the state, having lived here most of my life since I've been 10. I'm now 53, 43 years. So I've seen a lot of things come and go for Oregon sports, but both programs are on a rise right now. The facilities here at Oregon are second to none nationwide, Joe. And when this baseball stadium gets built, it's going to be a world-class baseball park for colleges. I mean, let's face it. I mean, the Ducks don't go halfway in anything. Autzen Stadium's example, the new Matthew Knight, the new Matt Court is going to be phenomenal. That building is underway.
It's 1-0. The Beavers with the lead over the Oregon Ducks here in the first Civil War in 28 years. Joe Johnsanti along with Rob Kloss. And, you know, even though I've taken the wrath of the Beavers for years and years and years, and I still do on a very regular basis. I mean, no matter what the insult is, Rob, I've heard it. So anything that anybody's throwing at me, don't feel like you're creative. But at the very least, I hope people can be appreciative of the fact that college baseball is on television and this game is available for viewing right here from Eugene for both Ducks and Beavers fans around the state.
Whether you're a Duck or a Beaver, this is a great day. Prior to this, no baseball game had ever been broadcast for the Ducks and the Beavers.
Here's one of these things about college baseball that I think maybe they should change, Rob. Whenever the catcher comes out and talks to the pitcher, if there's any time out anywhere on the field, you know, you call the entire team over. You know, people come off the bases. It's different than you see in baseball. There's so much of the running game and the offense, and, you know, the game gets a little bit slower, but that's what the game is. So the Beavers trying to break it open here against these young Ducks here with 19 freshmen and junior college transfers against one of the most veteran teams in the Pac-10. Good crowd in, and it's just nice to see people not having to wear a giant umbrella and a, you know, parka. Baseball is different, you know. There's no vitriol in the park, and it's, you know, families and people here with their gloves and Ducks and Beavers, and certainly every Duck and Beaver fan wants to win as much. And, you know, if I had a nickel for every email I got from a Beaver fan saying how the Ducks would never beat the Beavers in baseball, I'd probably be a rich guy by now. And someday they will win one, and then maybe the rivalry will be on, and you never know if it's going to be today or when.
They've got great pitching, talking about the Ducks, and a lot of times great pitching can beat good hitting. So what you need is a great performance out of some of these Ducks, these young Ducks, and they can beat anybody in the country, as witnessed in the Fresno State Series.
Ducks with pretty much white, a green top, and a pinstripe road uniform, which the pinstripes, each individual pinstripe is actually the words of the fight song in the pinstripe, which you can only see if you're up close. And the other thing too, Rob, you hope the Oregon fans are going to understandably be patient. You know, this is a very young team with a national championship coach, with the #2 ranked recruiting class in the country. And, you know, the most experience any Oregon batter's got is, you know, 50 at-bats at this point. They're playing college baseball players that have had hundreds of at-bats. And I'm sure the Oregon fans will be patient, Rob, knowing that, you know, this is a brand new startup. And I know that when UC Irvine made it to the College World Series in their 7th year, I believe, that was a big deal. It took them 7 years, and I thought it was very interesting. The head coach at Sacramento State, who was here the other day, been there for 31 years. He actually coached against Oregon when they had baseball before. That's how long he's been there. The coach said that as he stood on the field looking out at the new ballpark and the field and knowing what is going to be built here, and having a long association with George Horton, said I'm going to go on record and say that Oregon will be in the College World Series within 5 years. Now, if that were to happen, Rob, that would be unprecedented and would be absolutely incredible. And I know that this coaching staff sets their goals high and thinks it can happen. Rob, I don't know if this is something I ever thought I would ever see in my life.
Well, we've talked about this a lot, Joe. I know that's something you did not have the opportunity to play baseball at Oregon because the program wasn't there. You played
on the club team.
On the club team here in Eugene. And, you know, being an ex-catcher and knowing the game as well as you do, you've got to be pretty darn proud of the fact that this is back because you were such an integral part of it, working with Renee Baumgartner and Pat Kilkenny to bring baseball back. You went to a number of different ballparks, and you basically brought the best of all those ballparks to PK Field right here, and I'm looking forward to when the rest of the grandstands built.
Next year, the full construction will take place. Basically, anything outside the fence of the field is temporary. So the full ballpark gets built from end of dugout to end of dugout, concourse area, and then suite level press box. Thornton, a junior from Oak Park, California, one of those JC transfers. Oregon feels like they have one of the top pitching staffs anywhere, and it's a matter of getting a few runs, a little support. This is a nervous day for me, Rob. I think I've had about 12 Diet Pepsis. Ducks trying to hang tough here against one of the top baseball programs in the country. The one thing the Ducks proved today, Rob, is they can play with the Beavers. There's just no question about that. A lot of folks heading for the turnstiles here now. After that last base hit, they were coming today to see something maybe magical. Instead, they ended up seeing the Ducks give up some runs on the defensive side, and the best thing about baseball is that you got to do it again tomorrow. 7-1, the Beavers win here today, and the Ducks with 5 errors in the game. That probably was the determining factor. Time now to recognize today's Taco Bell hit of the game. And we'll just leave it at that, Rob. There weren't very many, so we'll just leave it at that as the Beavers with a lot of offense today.